on top of you.
Steve, a couple of final thoughts. So this week they're going to play on the PGA Tour. They're going to play the PGA Championship. In the majors, three. They're always obviously played at different courses. When you were playing in those, did you try to get there a number of time in advance, or was being there tournament enough?
I don't know. For me, at those majors, a month ahead of time, we go back to a course that where most of these players earlier, they'll get there Sunday night sometimes, and be ready to play maybe 9 holes on Monday, and maybe some guys will just play 9 holes a day and not try to wear themselves out. Everybody's a little bit different, but I was the guy that just kind of got in there Sunday night and tried to get 9 holes, 18 holes, and then a 9 hole on Wednesday. Kind of get 36 holes under my belt at one of these major championship venues, but I guess it never worked because I never won one of those. So I must have needed to do something different, but they're always a lot of fun to be a part of.
Last one for me, Steve, and that is about weather conditions, especially at this time of year, but it can be any time of year. Playing in different weather, those of us who are casual golfers, sometimes the weather is bad, we just cancel. But you guys, when you're playing in events, you had to play in all different types of weather. How did you adjust to that, and were there certain conditions where you felt like maybe you have an advantage given the style of your game?
Yeah, I never was upset about bad weather, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Growing up in Wisconsin, playing college golf in the Big Ten, spring and fall weather in the Big Ten season was
right.
not usually very good. And I had a type of game where I just grinded it out at times. I wasn't the purest ball striker, but I could get it around, relied on my short game a lot, and that's what you have to do really under tough conditions or bad weather conditions. So, I didn't mind that, and you kind of just got to acknowledge that they're going to be tough and kind of embrace it, because if you don't, then, it's kind of got you beat. So you have to embrace those challenges and rely on the strengths of your game to get you around.
Well, Steve, best of luck this week. We're all pulling for you. We wish you great health, and we'll chat in the next couple of weeks. And, again, we'll be watching and hoping the best for you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Steve. Steve
Thank
Stricker
you.
joining us. So interesting, and Tiz, you probably knew this, but his plan to just play on the major side of things this year. So limited number of events for Steve along with this tournament, and that's obviously beginning. There's a health drive to that, and then number 2, just where he is in his life.
I watched his reaction when he said that. Are you a little surprised by that?
Why what?
What he said?
About what? Not playing?
Yeah.
Not really. But, he's just he's going to surprise a lot of people.
I'm sure.
I was with him.
Listen, I'm
I've
never
been with
surprised.
him I've been with him the last couple of days, and today was really a breakthrough. I think for him that was something that was bugging him. And what about this? What about that? So my position is nothing more than a resource, more of a teacher. So you sit and listen, and he asks a question, and you got to get it so that it's his idea to fix it. Then it works. But the transition that I saw today from yesterday, I went around with him and Jerry yesterday, and I could see there were some things there. But then when we got going today, the difference in the last last hour, totally different. If he starts playing good, I would not be surprised if he'd play in a PGA event.
That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, watch out. My point is, I know he's getting stronger all the time. Watched where his ball lined up here. Watch the clubs that he's hitting from certain yardages. He's right there. So I don't know if he's just trying to go ahead to bait himself into being a little bit
Yeah,
better, which
maybe.
is normal,
Yeah,
which is
that's all
normal.
right.
I mean, all that sort of stuff. I know if he starts making putts, look out. You
Okay.
know, that's the big deal. They're going to shoot low here.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're going around with these playing from all the way back and where they were playing from, I mean, it was nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to shoot low, and he's got a good point. He made a good point, and the people are going to enjoy it because the guys are going to be a little bit more loose,
Yeah.
a little bit more freedom. You know,
Yeah.
you'll see some
Right.
kidding around. I just can't wait to see it and see him play. But then again, I say, well, now if we change the speed of the green a little bit,
Okay.
you know, we go from the 11 we go to 12 or 13, and they
Yeah.
start putting him off the green a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But it's cool.
I got a teaching question for you. I should probably save this for later, but it's on my mind now, so I'll ask. Will you learn more about a player's game, like a pro, on the course or over at the practice facility? And does it change for the rest of us hacks? Do you learn more watching us hit over at the practice facility or on the golf course?
Well, the business on the practice, that's what it is. There's practicing and there's playing.
Yeah.
Now, when you're practicing, you know, a level lie, same shot all the time. You get out there, wait a while now, a little different lie, uphill, downhill, side hill lies. You know, you got to know how to maneuver the ball. So playing is more the important thing. Over there, we teach muscle conditioning.
Sure. Yeah.
So that when you get out here, you do it's not muscle memory because you have to have a brain to have a memory. And last I knew, a muscle did not have a brain, so there can't be memory. So it's conditioning over and over and over again. And at the stage that these guys are in, though, that's a warm-up.
Sure.
They'll go out there and totally different. They'll
Yeah.
play. They'll play the wind. They'll play the side of the green that it's on. They look at their book now, and it tells how the slope is.
Yeah.
Now they both hit on number 3, and the pin was back up on the right, and it slopes from there. Well, they played it and they hit the slope, and next thing you know, they were 20 feet to the left of the hole.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, you can see that is not going to happen again. You know.
Yeah.
So, but in his situation here, it was really good what I saw today. I commented on it, and then I noticed that he was going to go home, and then I noticed here 3 hours later he's still here. So, you know, it'd be one of those deals where we say something, then he'll call me, you know, I hit on something.
Yeah.
Oh, but we did that 20 years ago.
Well, right.
So, okay, but we win, you know.
One more question about here. What wind is the most difficult to play in out
North.
here? North wind out here?
North wind is the hardest. You know, it's geared to be a southwest wind, and, you know, that's what it's geared for. You know, that's it. But it comes from the north. And even that southwest wind, you play from all the way back on 9 and 18.
Sure.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
All into the wind, par 3. So the wind is a big issue here. It's a big item because it really does blow now that the trees are gone and, you know, the wind blows. But they're all pretty sharp about that. You know, the wind, they know how to keep the ball down, you know. Choke down a little bit, takes the weight out of the bottom of the club, 3/4 to 3/4, and it's over, you know.
I got a question on the wind. If it's 10 miles an hour, is that one more club and then it goes up? If it's 20, it's 2?
And depends on how they hit the ball in the air.
Okay.
You get a lot of guys hit that boring shot. Wind's not going to bother them too much at all. Now, in his particular case, Steve's now, you know, he was a slicer, you know, hit the ball to the right. We showed him how to knock the ball and turn it down, turn it in. Knock the ball down, turn it in. Well, there you go. Knock the ball down, turn it in front of the green, rolls to the back. So if it blows, he's in contention, tell you the truth.
Well, he might be either way, right? Gary D'Amato is going to join us on the other side. He was covering Women's U.S. Open qualifier today. Gary D'Amato is our weekly guest, and he's with us when we come back. It's Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only.
Clear it. Break number 1. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Gary is on the line and ready to go. Gary is ready.
Joel,
your game, your store, always at the best price.
There's a new home and a new team competition for the 2025 American Family Insurance Championship. Wisconsin's own Steve Stricker is once again the host of the annual PGA Tour Champions event, the AmFam Championship, at a new course, TPC Wisconsin. The tournament also debuts a team competition with 2-person teams competing in best ball and scramble formats. The American Family Insurance Championship, June 6th through the 8th. Get details and ticket information at amfamchampionship.com.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Hey guys, it's Mike Heller for Lombardi Limonada. You know this is my time of year, hitting the links, grilling out, boating. Better weather means Lombardi time. Lombardi Limonada, an Italian-inspired hard lemonade, locally owned and made with all natural ingredients, none of those artificial sweeteners. And it goes great with just about any summertime activity, anytime, anywhere. Loosen up by picking up some Lombardi Limonada today at your local Festival Foods and make any time feel like summertime with Lombardi Limonada.
Escape to Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells, where championship golf meets breathtaking natural beauty. The perfect golf getaway awaits, with numerous luxurious lodging styles, perfect for groups of any size. Carved from the natural beauty of the area, Wild Rock is set against rolling hills, rugged terrain, and views you won't forget. Book your next round or stay and play package today and get ready for an exceptional golf experience. Visit wildrockgolf.com for more information. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, Matt LePay, your friendly game announcer for Ridgetop Exteriors. Is your home ready to stand out this season? Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers
30 seconds
like
to
Pella,
music.
James Hardy, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com for your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob's. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you,
10
teach you.
seconds,
Here's
you got
the best
10.
part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Mics are on.
And we continue. It's Talking Golf on a Monday night. TPC Wisconsin. Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani, and Paul Braun on the desk panel here. The two experts and just a host. And then we welcome in Gary D'Amato, our favorite guest. What is that?
Well,
is that right?
Can we vote on that?
Yeah, your vote for your favorite.
Well, I vote is my favorite. It was Tiz who was the dissenting vote here.
And I'm undecided.
He's undecided, yeah. You want to lobby on Paul's side. Dennis, you're not going to get a vote from, I can promise you.
No. Except when he's not on the air. Then he gets a vote.
Gary, you spent the day down at Elgin Country Club on the Women's U.S. Open qualifier. Interesting stuff on that tournament that's going to be at Erin Hills coming up fairly soon. So the process continues to go on.
Yeah, it was a great qualifier. The course reminds me Elgin Country Club. I don't know if Dennis has ever played here, but it reminds me a little bit of Blackhawk in Madison. Pretty tree-lined and pretty hilly. But, two qualifiers, Vanessa Borovilos of Toronto, plays at Texas A&M, and Kylie Van Saga from California, a young professional, 24 years old. No women with state ties made it. Well, I shouldn't say that. One actually is the first alternate, Madison Dabagia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. She was named after the city of Madison because her father, Mark, played for Dennis in the 80s. So that's kind of a cool tie.
Dabagia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dabagia.
Mark Dabagia, he played here. He's a medical type person right now, but he was a good player from Indiana, I think. That's where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? And
That's
his
right,
daughter
yeah.
plays? Well, that's a normal thing.
Yeah, he's got a couple.
You know, the athletic chromosome is an X anyway.
Well,
so
I've heard
he
that.
had nothing to do with her athletic ability, you know. I hope he heard me because he'll be on the phone right away.
You know that works against you, too. Don't you know that? I mean...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this where'd Mario and Nicky get their talent from?
That's right.
That's right.
Grandma.
Gary, let me ask you a question. I don't know if you heard off the top, but we had Steve Stricker in our first segment, and he talked about, at least right now, his plan is likely to just play this event and the major events on the Champions Tour. Your reaction to, at least that's the plan now, your reaction to that news from Steve Stricker?
Yeah, I didn't get to hear it because I'm here at the golf course, and I couldn't listen to you guys on the radio. But I just hope that he heals, that his neck and back are heal sufficiently so that he can play well in those tournaments. I know they mean the world to him, and he's got such success in the Champions Tour majors. So I know they're really important to him. But I remember him saying on your show a week or two ago that he'll play in the AmFam even if he has one arm working. So
right.
We know he's playing there. So I hope that he heals sufficiently so that he can play the way he wants to play in those majors, because he's got a great record and it's very important to him and everybody.
Gary, let me ask you about the PGA Championship, which will tee off later this week at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. Xander Schauffele's the defending champion. Have you been and covered at that golf course in the past?
I have. I was at Quail Hollow, I don't know how many years ago, for one of the tournaments. Really love the golf course, but I'll tell you who loves it more is Rory McIlroy. He's had a ton of success there. And, boy, it's pretty hard. I mean, it's pretty hard to bet it. I'll tell you what. Give me Rory and Scotty Scheffler, and you guys can have the field. One of those two guys is going to win it, I think. Yeah.
It's really impressive when they're on their game. And Tiz, let me bring you into the fold here. Why do certain golf courses, other than the layout, suit some players' eye? Or maybe it just is the layout that Rory loves playing there, or Steve loved playing at John Deere, a course that obviously fit his view. How does that work?
Yeah, but just think about this. That's BS.
It is, okay.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's fit certain people. I can see shortness fits some people.
Sure, okay.
Just like Century World fit the guy who, hits it.
Bernhard Longer.
Yeah, and Jerry Kelly. They drive it. They don't drive it very far, but they drive it straight. Because, it's 18 tees, 18
Usually,
fairways, 18
correct.
greens, a 4.5-inch hole. Yeah. That's all it is. But there are some places where you have Augusta National. The fellow who I'm trying to think of, Mexican player. He could never play there because he played left.
Trevino?
Lee Trevino, he played left to right. Yeah. It's a high right to left play. Everybody who wins there hits it high right to left. That's the way so he could never play there. Elevated greens, hitting it low left to right, no chance. So that'd be a case to say that's not a course for him. You know? But these guys hit it high and right to left would be. But I think a golf course. It all depends what the guy feels like when he gets there. Is he ready to go? Is he ready to play? And he doesn't have any pulls on the side and all this other.
Yeah.
You take a look at some of these guys. I think Jordan Spieth, they have families now.
Yeah.
So that's a pull. It wasn't like it was before, up and running. See?
Well, and I think Gary Nicholas, I believe, is one of the guys that said it. When you have a family and your devotion to the game, it usually, for many, it changes their championship ability. For Jack, it didn't, whether it was because he had all that support at home or whatever the reasons. But we do see players' games change when they add children to the equation because the time that you get to grind at the game changes a little bit.
He played so good.
Well, you think about the guys who were great at compartmentalizing their lives. Nicholas, certainly. Ben Hogan, another name that he, when he got to the golf course, it was all business, and he had a life outside the course, but that was, so important to him. And Tiger Woods, another example of a guy who compartmentalized, all the stuff he went through, injuries and some self-inflicted stuff. But, it didn't matter when he got to the golf course. He was laser focused. So, that's an interesting point, I think.
I wanted to chat a little bit about the PGA, or the Professional Golfers Association, because you guys mentioned Nicholas and Palmer. Dennis, they changed that in 1968, as apparently when that whole change came up. Why do you think Jack and Arnold did that? What was the main focus on changing that?
Changing?
To the PGA Tour. They switch it from the Professional Golfers Association and split off to the PGA Tour?
From the PGA to the Tour. Why did they do that?
Yeah. Was it simply money and the opportunity, or what?
I still can't tell you. I was at that meeting when Dean Beeman did that. I couldn't believe it. I stood up in the meeting and booed him, the PGA, for why did you do that? Why did you give that up? But there it was again, where the players, it's a closed shop. right?
Yeah.
They got it. It's just for theirs. It wasn't for anybody else. And, of course, you're hitting on me here. It's a tough deal because all those tour players have millions of dollars in their retirement account as a result of the players, right?
Yeah.
And now a PGA guy, dumbbell like me, has nothing. There is no retirement account.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. Yeah.
And now I'll tell you another story. And this is you got me going on this damn thing, you know.
Way to go, Paul.
You know, I think that the quality, and it's nothing, no derogatory to any players or anybody who's in the PGA, but you know, no benefits, no this, no that. You're not attracting the best people that you can get to be a PGA pro.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
They went from 8,000 people to 21,000. Again, dues collection agency.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now you got no, that's nothing saying these guys aren't any good and stuff like that, but I look at scores and the like that used to be played and the players who played out of our section who used to play on a national level, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bothersome thing for me, you know, and so you're getting guys in there that are becoming, you know, they're tied into a body of people who run the club.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not about them. It used to be that the best player at the club was the pro.
Yeah.
Not the case.
Not the case. Well, in most cases, you don't get to play, right?
You know,
I mean, that's not part of the mix.
Now, on the other side, you have more of those people are more formally educated also.
Yeah.
You know,
Correct.
so it's a different story than the guys that I knew that, you know, they played golf. That's what they did, and the job that they had was kind of a sidebar.
Sure.
You know, for these people, it's one. But still, the PGA, my opinion, could do a lot better in attracting people from a playing standpoint.
Yeah.
If in fact there was some benefits to doing
you
it.
took care of them a little bit.
Right.
Gary, before we let you go, what's next on your agenda? I'm sure you're playing a little bit because, I mean, that's part of retirement, isn't it?
Very little bit, but next on my agenda is the Women's Open, and I'm really looking forward to that. See what the women shoot there. Hopefully we get the weather cooperating. If you guys remember in 2017 when Brooks Koepka won, there was a huge rain event early in the week, and then the wind laid down, and they just tore up that course. So I'm really hoping the wind blows and it's dry and firm and fast, and it's going to be fun.
That Women's
we'll
Open.
That.
The Women's Open's coming up. You know?
Right.
We're very much interested. As you know, we're trying to grow the business, and just prior to that tournament, that week before, we're going to have a visitor here. She's going to spend a few days here, hitting balls and playing. Madeline Sagstrom is her name. You know that name, Gary? Madeline?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's coming here. She just won the PGA or the match play, but she's going to be here. As part of the deal. So I say that because our people will be able to watch a little bit of that. I can see them following her and seeing a real pro lady player, first class, who is a contender, going to be a contender here.
Fantastic. Gary D'Amato, we always appreciate the time we spend with you. Thank you, and we'll look forward to talking again next week.
Everybody else will look forward. Everybody else will look forward to it.
Two-thirds of us will look forward to it, Gary. Appreciate Gary D'Amato joining us every week.
He's pretty good, you know.
He's pretty good.
Pretty good. He's one of the best out there.
You wait till he hangs up.
He already hung up. Otherwise, I never would have said it.
Exactly right. We're going to spend more time talking to Dennis about weather conditions and about the learning facility, the teaching area here that is about ready to open up, and a little bit, more than a little bit, about the Golf Foundation, All Good Works, and we'll get to some of that when we come back. This is Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
That's pretty cool.
Get your tickets now to the American Family Insurance Championship.
Clear. Break number 2, 3 minutes, 3 minutes.
This year, the tournament moves to its new home at TPC Wisconsin. The AmFam Championship also debuts an exciting team competition with two-person teams competing in best ball and scramble formats over the 3-day tournament. The American Family Insurance Championship is June 6th through the 8th. Get more information and purchase tickets at amfamchampionship.com.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions, the University of Wisconsin Golf Course University Ridge is open for play and awaiting your arrival. With more tee times open in 2025, you can reserve your next round directly at universityridge.com. Not enough time for golf? Enjoy our excellent selection of Wisconsin golf merchandise. Fine-tune your game at our world-class practice facility or grab a bite and drink at the W Grill. Put University Ridge on your calendar in 2025 and play where the Badgers play. That's University Ridge Golf Course.
Would you like more time to focus on your hobbies and less time with keeping up with your home? This is Paul Braun for the Arbors Independent Living at Oak Park Place. Contact the leasing team at Oak Park Place to find out how you can live your best life doing the things you enjoy with neighbors that quickly become friends at the Arbors Independent Living at Oak Park Place on Madison's East Side and in Janesville. Live life, live well. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
If you're a golfer who likes a challenge, consider being a member at TPC Wisconsin. The course provides you with a very challenging 18-hole layout that makes you think before you hit your next shot. After your round, you can relax at the completely renovated clubhouse. The new facility includes 3 restaurants, tennis courts, driving range, and programs for juniors, plus other great amenities. Are you up for the TPC Wisconsin Challenge? For details on becoming a member, 608-249-1000.
Hi, this is
30
Brian Kosick,
seconds to
and I can't
music.
wait for Marco Siki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine.
10
Join us
seconds,
on
you
the
got
water
10.
May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting, the number 4kids.org.
Mics are on.
By the way, because we got Paul on the panel here, we just heard the commercial for Casting for Kids that Marco Siki's event coming up a week from, comes up this Saturday.
You bet.
What a great event that he has put together.
They've done that for about 8-9 years.
This, I believe, is their 7th or 8th annual. But it's really good, huh?
Yeah, it is, and it's for a very worthy cause. There's a lot of people that fish. There's a good competition there, too, obviously, for guys that go out there. We're going to win the prize, this kind of thing.
Those hockey guys, they're pretty good. Not necessarily the broadcasters. I'm talking about the players.
No, I didn't include myself in that. I've actually never been in the tournament, but it would be fun.
But Oz puts on a great event. He gets the hockey community is so incredibly supportive. I mean, his online auction that's going on right now is filled with incredible memorabilia and current players' signed jerseys. The hockey community, as you well know, for your career spent around those guys, they're tremendously supportive of one another. Dennis, let's run back in. I wanted to talk about playing in conditions, right? So we were talking a little bit about with wind out here. But Steve was talking about conditions never really affected his game because he grew up here playing Big Ten golf. But some people really struggle when the weather is not ideal, whether it's windy or cold or a little bit wet. How does the game change, and what are some of the key characteristics for players to keep in mind? Let's say that it's blowing. Like, what's the idea?
Well, you're going to have to you hear the story, let the wind be your friend.
Okay.
I was always the other way. You go against the wind, one way or another, because the wind will hold up.
Kind of like your life.
Yeah. That's right. Anyway, in his particular case, what he learned how to do was to knock the ball down and turn it in.
Sure.
So in the wind, knocking it down and turning it in would be. Now, you do that, choke down on the club a little bit, takes the weight out of the bottom of the club.
Yeah.
Because it's the weight at the bottom of the club that makes the ball go up. So you take an inch off, take a couple swing weights out, and then you'll go a half to a half or 3/4 to 3/4 of your swing.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word punch shot because it's not a punch, but it's an abbreviated follow through to keep the ball down to play. Now, the hard part here is going to be if the pins are tucked. How are you going to hit the ball down and keep it somewhere on the green?
Right.
So you're going to have to be a little bit careful to do that. Now, the advantage here is the fairways here are real firm. You know, it's a sand base, it's firm. Anytime you have a sand or a firm, the ball will leave the club off the bottom of the club. There's the spin. So they're going to be able to get more spin here and control the ball and even turn the ball a little bit more. But, you know, playing that wind is to be careful to. I've always done this. Cut the green into quarters.
Sure.
Small target, small miss. Only play to those quarters. Forget about this pin thing. Make sure you're putting it on, because that's where it's going to be won, is putting.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big item here. Putting when the greens are fast like that and the wind blows.
Yeah.
The wind is definitely going to affect the ball here.
Yeah.
So I hope it blows like hell.
Yes, I know you do. Yeah.
Talk about blowing like hell. We were playing last week, including with your brother, on 17.
Yeah.
For people that haven't been here, it's a very short par 3, but there's a brick wall right in front of the green.
Yeah.
That wind was blowing about 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We scoped it, and it was 111 yards. 3 of us hit 8 irons, and 1 hit a 9 iron, and 2 of the 3 guys, including me, were short with the 8 iron.
Yeah, wind is a big factor. It's one of the things that's hard to beat. That's why you try to neutralize it, you know. But when you've grown up here, you know, that wind is something. When you're growing up, you play overseas, you know, in Scotland, places like that. In fact, that's where now they changed it. It used to be you play a small ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that small ball wasn't affected by the wind. You could hit a regular-sized ball. You get as hard as you want into the wind, 200 yards. That's all it'll go.
You made fun of us last year because Paul and I didn't know that.
Well, there's a lot of things.
I know there's a lot of things. Listen,
you have to bring that up?
Yeah, well, I kind of
okay.
A lot of things you don't know.
Those Texans that have always talked about playing in the wind, you know, give me a sense of what that definition is, you know, how they do it or what they do.
They'll all play the ball down, you know, it's on the green and roll.
Yeah.
Not this business of fly in. Playing it down. And you just have to get it on the green and hope the hell that it stays there, you know.
Yeah. What is give me your philosophy on the lift, clean, in place in weather conditions that have allowed that. Are you a fan of lift, clean, in place when the weather is dictated such?
I am.
Yeah.
I am a fan because mud on the ball, that's unfair.
Yeah.
Because, you know, now you know it's going to go on the side that the mud is on. That's which way it's going to take out. But how are you going to go?
Right.
Now you're going to play at this course with that mud on the ball. So lift, clean, in place would be pretty good.
I got my hand raised. I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So without lift, clean, in place, do you believe that there ought to be a rule in place that allows you to take mud off of a golf ball if indeed that happened? But we're not playing lift, clean, in place, and there's mud on the golf ball.
Well, the lift, clean, in place is more from a water standpoint.
Correct.
You know, getting other product, you know, no.
That's just part of the deal. No. It's like hitting out of a divot. We've had that conversation before.
Yeah. Well, hitting it out of the divots, you know, that's a thing we have to watch out here because a lot of the holes, they're not layup holes, but there's places that you have to hit from.
Right.
And I can see it out there now from 120 yards out on the second hole.
Sure.
Divots.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to be really careful of that.
Right. Let's talk about the learning facility here and where you are in the process. And we're talking about at TPC Wisconsin. And when I talk about the learning facility, you don't have to be a member to be coming out here and taking lessons and that kind of a concept. But you're about ready to open that up here very shortly.
It'll be open on the 15th. It's called the TPC Academy, TPC Golf Academy.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind that was the naming rights.
Yeah.
Our Steve Stricker American Family Foundation term. So that is there, but it's still going to be TPC Academy, but they have the naming rights to it, and they made a sizable contribution, obviously, to get this started. Yeah. But it's going to be done here by the 15th. TrackMan is going in now. There's 4 bays They're 28 feet wide, 18 feet deep, 14 feet high, and it's geared a lot to multiple people inside there teaching.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's really a teaching facility because there's 3 trackmen and 1 that's strictly club fitting.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. But it has other things in there too, It has its own restaurant type thing. I don't know, and it has its own putting lab.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from a learning standpoint, and keep in mind that was done in conjunction with the the Golf Foundation of Wisconsin. Now, that Golf Foundation of Wisconsin was something we have going that what it does is it raises money to pay instructors who are in a non-metropolitan area that has a high school, that has a girls' golf team.
Yeah.
That coach will be able to access this teachers in their area
Right.
or ours.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that most of those golf coaches in those non-metro
They're teachers.
areas are just teachers, and they're
That's right.
facilitating. They manage the golf program more than they teach it. And what you're allowing is through the foundation is instructors to be.
They can come there. They can, but then they're also part of because it's geared towards women's golf. There's no doubt about that. But the learning center, the
teaching academy here
upstairs, or the fitness center
Oh,
part.
yeah,
the fitness
here in the
center
building,
part.
yep.
That's a big part of what we're going on because in women's
Yeah.
sport, they're better for golf than guys. They have better. They're more supple, better
Sure.
retention, better
Yeah.
concentration. They just don't have hand strength. Women
Yeah.
don't have like guys have the hand strength. So it's something that we go ahead and work on
that side too.
Right. Well, when I was coaching, we would get a racquetball, put a string on it, and hang it from their directional signal.
Yeah.
And then as they drove around, they pumped this thing
squeeze.
so that
Yeah.
they got to be strong.
Grip
Their
pressure.
forearm muscle got to be strong. So there's already 2 schools that Travis has already been at that don't have program, but he was teaching golf. They are now starting a girls golf program in their high school.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, it's really cool.
Dennis, I'll tell you what, when you talk about this total facility and the instruction level that you're going to have in here, there's not a lot of these kind of facilities in this part of the country, right? No. This is going to be something that's very unique.
Well, already it's the talk of around the United States about what's here. Well, we're one of 30 courses in the TPC. There's only 30 of us. And this one here is geared towards that.
Yeah.
And we are instruction-based. Larry and I starting out, and we got Travis going, and now Dylan. I mean, there's some people there that are really good at what they do. Now, there are also some good people in this city. Schnarr, these people here, they're doing a really good job. But here, there's a little bit of a different commitment. That's job 1. That's a whole different situation, different than over here.
Right.
This is totally different. What's going on with the balls that you hit, the instruction that you get.
Yeah.
And, they're already booking week-long instructions. People come in here to stay for a week, not just an hour.
Yeah.
Or stay for a week. And
So-
the playing part is another thing where we can take them over to the short game area. Look at who has a short game area.
So if you have a family member, a young person in your family that is really in love with the game of golf and wants to get solid instruction, this is going to be a key place.
Well, I know there's 50 people already in his program that are juniors that are here learning about this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And a good portion of them young girls.
Yeah.
Which is something
This is
that we're
great.
after.
That's
so
the growth.
it's really cool. The whole thing of obviously it gets me going because that's where it's at. I like the golf course. I like all that stuff. It's good, but it's not like that. The smiles that you get from not only the kids but from their parents after they get done, unbelievable.
There's one rule, though, you got to change
What's
with
that?
all of this.
Oh, boy.
Especially from you and Larry.
One left-hander is all we get.
If there's 2 left-handers on the range at one time, they'll walk up to him and say, one of you 2 has to sit down.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got to get rid of that rule.
There are a couple of times I thought about just going over there to hit left-handed and make you sit down.
That's
see
right.
what they were going to do it.
There you
We'll
go.
take a break. We're talking golf at TPC, Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping.
Clear. Break number 3. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Get your tickets now to the American Family Insurance Championship. Wisconsin's own Steve Stricker hosts this annual PGA Tour Champions event June 6th through
Roger,
the 8th.
I'll give you
This
music
year,
at
the tournament
59
moves
then.
to its new home at TPC Wisconsin.
No,
the
I'll give you
AmFam
music at
Championship
56
also
then.
debuts an exciting team competition with two-person teams competing in best ball and scramble formats over the 3-day tournament. The American Family Insurance Championship is June 6th through the 8th. Get more
Roger.
information and purchase tickets at amfamchampionship.com.
Escape to Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells, where championship golf meets breathtaking natural beauty. The perfect golf getaway awaits, with numerous luxurious lodging styles, perfect for groups of any size. Carved from the natural beauty of the area, Wild Rock is set against rolling hills, rugged terrain, and views you won't forget. Book your next round or stay and play package today and get ready for an exceptional golf experience. Visit wildrockgolf.com for more information. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, Matt LePay, your friendly game announcer for Ridgetop Exteriors. Is your home ready to stand out this season? Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com for your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Oak Park Place Memory Care Communities meet residents where they are in the journey with Alzheimer's and other form of dementia. This is Paul Braun for Oak Park Place. When you need to take that first step and learn more, turn to the experts at Oak Park Place. You'll meet a compassionate team who will help residents find purpose, tailored to individual needs through a success-oriented program. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Hey guys, it's Mike Heller for Lombardi Limonada. You know this is my time of year, hitting the links, grilling out, boating. Better weather means Lombardi time. Lombardi Limonada, an Italian-inspired hard lemonade, locally owned and made with all natural ingredients, none of those artificial sweeteners. And it goes great with just about
30 seconds
any
to music,
summertime
30
activity,
seconds.
anytime, anywhere. Loosen up by picking up some Lombardi Limonada today at your local Festival Foods and make any time feel like summertime with Lombardi Limonada.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you.
10 seconds, you got 10.
New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Mics are on.
Final segment of Talking Golf on a Monday night at TPC Wisconsin. Mike Heller, Paul Brown, Dennis Tiziani with you. Dave McCann is our engineer. And Tiz, one of the things we've learned now over the last number of days is that all of the former champions are going to be here at the AmFam Championship June 6th through the 8th. So Jerry's won it twice, and all the former champions will be represented here, which is great.
Yeah, they're all, they're excited. Steve had a lot to do it, and Jerry too. They kind of got a thing for survey from the players, and they wanted another change in format, and they accepted it. And you're going to find, I tell you what, you get a guy like Bernhard Longer.
Bernhard Longer, yeah.
Well, if he gets to some guy that drives a 280 to 200,
look out.
Watch out. That's right.
You think it's going to be potentially 28 to 30 under?
Oh,
huh?
I'll tell you what, it's going to be low. I watched these two guys. They both hit it really pretty good. I mean, they're not short. They're not long.
Sure.
But, boy.
Well, what about a scramble score? Do you think 60 gets messed with on Saturday when they're playing a true scramble, two-man scramble?
You mean 12 under?
Yeah.
Oh, like nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
So one of the teams is going to shoot in the 50s.
And, the greens are really smooth. They're perfect.
Yeah.
They're new. They're perfect. And they'll run at 12 plus,
Yeah. If it's windy, that's going to be.
Oh, the ball will wiggle around a little bit. But there's some great players on there. And just watching those two guys and how they went around, the stuff on the sides, it never came into play.
Yeah, it does for me.
Oh,
me too.
Yeah.
Can I ask him a lesson question?
Maybe.
Seriously, you have people, I'll use myself as an example.
Left-handed.
My scores are going up. My handicap is also going up. And people say, play to have fun. If you're a competitive person and you still want to try and play better golf, it's very difficult to transition to getting higher scores and having fun? I mean, what would you say to that?
Do what you're doing.
What's that?
Learning how to hit it halfway decent.
Yeah, taking
I
a
mean,
lesson.
to say you just shot 80.
I did in one round, not here, but I did yesterday at Lake Ripley.
Well, your game will travel out of here pretty well.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no question.
Yeah.
And the other thing is playing. But if you're worried about hitting instead of worrying about playing, you're going to play bad.
Yeah.
You stand there and worry about hitting, you got a problem.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, that concept is what you teach all the time. When you're over there, worry about hitting. When you're over here, worry about playing.
Playing, that's right. Play different clubs. You don't have to hit a driver in every hole.
Yeah, he suggested today I move up to the 5s here.
Well,
there you go.
That's a tough thing, though.
Well,
I mean, seriously,
and
accept that and
sure.
move up. People probably, I'm not the only one, you don't really want to do that.
What changed that you didn't hit it bad? Well, how could that be? You hit it so good, you only had to do one thing.
Yeah?
Then what? How did you do? What are you doing?
I didn't do very well with the irons.
Oh, well,
the tip you gave me was on the driver, and that's worked. But the irons, it hasn't worked.
I guess it's a different swing.
Sounds like it's a Dennis issue now.
Oh, yeah. No question, yeah. What he's angling for is we got to go over hit again. So,
yeah, exactly
I know
right.
what's going on.
Uh-huh. He's just putting in for that concept.
But seriously, adjusting your attitude in golf as you get older and less flexible.
We were talking about that last year with Nikki's good friend who came on the show a couple of times, and she was talking about her dad, and he said the best thing he did was when he moved up a tee, and then the game got to be more enjoyable again. Because I can attest to this just as you can. As we get older, the things that we're doing on the golf course aren't as good, and then it becomes a challenge to find the joy in it when your scores are going up. I totally get that. But you're handicapped. You're setting people up. I see what you're doing. You're going to get in their pocket a little bit later, setting them up with a higher handicap.
You should hear the conversation at the tail with his
I'm sure.
13 or 18 handicap, whatever it is. And he hits it on the green, and, of course, he gets a stroke.
Yeah.
So he gets a stroke on the green.
Yeah, that's no
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Works for me.
Well, we had a lot of fun tonight. Our big thank you to Steve Stricker, who joined us right out of the gate tonight. And he's going to be playing this week for the first time on the Champions Tour this year. And we're looking forward to that and wishing him the best. Gary D'Amato, two-thirds of us always appreciate when he's on the show, and he was with us this week. My thanks to Dave McCann, and for Paul Brown and Dennis Tiziani, I'm Mike Heller. That's been Talking Golf at TPC, Wisconsin.